First off, before I start this, I wanted to let you all know that G&G Armament are having a photo and video contest right now called Show Yourself. This is an annual contest that G&G holds to show off the creative minds we have in our hobby. This is your chance to win several G&G replicas, cash prizes, and a chance to be shown on G&G product catalogs and advertisements in the future. And there's team prizes as well. So if you have the skills to put together some amazing pieces of work, then check out the description for all the rules, guidelines, and ways to enter. Just be sure to tell me if you end up winning something special. It seems that many different companies at the moment are making their own AK-12 AEGs. I've shown off 3 already on the USAirsoft channel, but it seems that another one has joined the fight. This is the G&G Armament GK12, one of the more expensive offerings if you must have an AK-12. This replica comes with a price tag of $550 MSRP. So let's go ahead and check out what comes in the box and see all the interesting features that make this G&G Armament so special. Now this will not be a full-length review, as I've pretty much done that already with another AK-12, but I cannot wait to take this out to a field and see what it can really do. Now I do appreciate G&G Armament for sending me this sample, but let's go ahead and get into the unboxing and see what kind of features it comes with. I always appreciate a good box, even if it's made from cardboard. G&G has covered this one with graphics on each side. On the back, a look on the inside will show you all the goodies that G&G hooked their AK-12 with. I won't rip into the version 3 gearbox in this video, but I'll touch on some of the additions as we go along. Flipping open the tabs and folding over the top, everything you're looking for is laid out, just like the very good looking but proprietary 120 round polymer magazine with an extended follower and automatic cutoff feature that connects with the tab inside of the GK12 when this magazine runs dry. If you wish to use other magazines, then you'll want to hear my biggest gripe that I have about this replica a little later on. Continuing along, we have a cleaning / unjamming rod, a front sight adjustment tool that I appreciate seeing included, a red cap at the end of the GK12's barrel, and the paperwork that includes a product warranty card, a catalog of G&G's products, and the paper back manual, of course. Inside, you'll get diagrams to show you all the functions, features, and troubleshooting information, along with exploded views of all the parts and cleaning instructions in the back of the booklet. And everything is written in English, Spanish, French, Japanese, and in Taiwanese for those who need it. Then with all that out of the box, we have the GK12 itself, that I'll refer to as the AK-12 back and forth throughout this video. And without further ado, this AK-12 replica bears a lot of steel. From the receiver, dust cover, and its release lever, gas tube, selector switch, charging handle, and sling swivels, along with the screws and trigger guard. The barrel, muzzle brake, sights, buffer tube, and the trigger itself would be made from aluminum that's all been painted black. All these parts are smooth to the touch, just like the polymer parts, like the handguard, stock, and motor grip. And this build construction will net the entire replica a reasonable weight. It definitely feels dense, not as dense as the LCTs, which I think might be overweight, but it does feel solid. Using all the controls and looking around, you'll notice it's just another AK-12, but I do appreciate the hop-up that seems to be a TDC with a rather large dial that will click as you make your adjustments to the metal hop-up. Getting to the battery connections is rather easy this time, but I'd expect to see Dean's connections and not small type Tamiya in a replica worth over $500. Oh, and be sure to get some rather small batteries because there's not much space in here. I can't say that I really appreciate this stock lock system because it doesn't really lock at all, and it will bang into the receiver quite a bit. The stock itself is nice. You get 6 positions of pull along the aluminum buffer tube, and the rubber butt pad will grip to your shoulder. Just be sure to use the QD sling slots in combination with the steel ring behind the bayonet mount. The rear sight is adjustable for windage and elevation thanks to the dial and slider, but it can be removed from the Picatinny rail that runs across the dust cover and handguard in 2 pieces. The front sight can't be removed, but if you've ever handled any AK before, then you'll understand this sight as well. Under the front sight, we get a tool that's built into the mock gas plug. You would use this to remove your spring guide after flipping the stock over and taking off the dust cover. I like having tools built into replicas, so this gets my approval. I also approve of all the electronics inside the AK-12 itself. If you notice, the selector switch does bear a 2-round burst and goes past the receiver like it should for semi-auto. This isn't lost on the inside, as a Mosfet and a 50% smaller ETU comes with a few features to serve players better. 2-round burst actually functions properly on this model, and you can turn full auto into 3-round or 5-round burst whenever you'd like. You get pre-cocking, the warning beeps and flashes from the Mosfet to prevent you from damaging your own replica if something goes wrong, and other little cool features. And I would say that you should probably read the manual to see all the functions included and to learn how to activate them. I'll be sure to try all these features out before I make another video on this particular AK-12. The tech inside of this model is the biggest strength. However, I can already tell you what its biggest downfall is, and that would be magazine compatibility. It's not very good. Of course, the GK12 can work with its own magazines, no problem. The cutoff works fine, and every BB feeds. If I had a dozen of these magazines, then I wouldn't have a problem with them. These are pretty great, but I can't use them with anything else. My biggest complaint is that I can't use mag brand magazines, any of my standard SEMA magazines, besides my drum mag, none of my E&L AK-12 magazines. Basically, none of my 545 magazines will stay in the magwell or even go in at all. Arcturus and LCT AK-12 mags will work, but if I can't use any of these very common brands of magazines, then G&G has a problem on their hands. My 7.62 and even my Galil magazines fit, which is really weird, and that's about it. I don't have every single style of magazine in Airsoft, so I expect this to be a troublesome replica to feed if you're not using G&G magazines, so be aware of this. I know this is going to be a deal breaker to a lot of people out there, but how can anyone ignore something this detrimental? As I look around, there's quite a lot of stuff to like about this G&G armament, and also stuff that I really gotta look into. But as I think about it, maybe I should do a gameplay video where I dual wield AK-12s, since I have 3 of them. I like G&G. I've always enjoyed their diversity in their catalog, so seeing more AKs in their lineup is always great. But is it better than the LCT, or the E&L, or the Arcturus? That's what I really need to research next. Just be sure to comment down below what I should do in the next video whenever I show off this GK12 a little bit more. Also, if you have any ideas of gameplay shenanigans I can do, then definitely comment down below. Speaking of which, I have some gameplay of a brand new ARP9 2.0 coming soon. Yeah, that gameplay was pretty awesome. Either way, I hope you enjoyed this video, I hope you're enjoying your day, and that you continue to enjoy your day. But until that next video drops from the city of Dallas, Texas, this has been Scott Hollenbeck, and I will be sure to see you all next time. It's very smooth on the trigger, and I like that. And I know some people hate this, but I want to see just how sensitive this trigger is with the Mosfet and ETU system inside. Pretty good. Now, how about 2-round burst? So that's interesting. I got a 3-round burst, and then I got 2, 2, 2, 2. So if I throw it in the full auto or... Okay, well, it ran out, and that means I cannot dry fire it. And it feeds every last BB because of that extended follower. Now, I do see the little switch that activates the no dry fire mode. And interestingly enough, if I hold it down, it still won't fire. But if I hold it upside down or jiggle it around or such, kind of. It really doesn't want you to do that kind of stuff. So, really interesting system, I think.
It's not going in. It's literally just.
Hey, yo, give us a slop.
No, this is embarrassing. Don't video this.
Slop squat. Slop squat. Slop squat's better than the voice. Slop squat. Slab squat. Come on, you gotta hit us.
Not with the gun.
Yes, no, with the gun. No, with the gun. Come on, man.
You must.
Yeah! Slab squat. Slab.
I'm gonna put that in the review if you're cool with that.
Oh yeah, sure.
Awesome.